And they are just a few things, especially with the artist and with Marco in the back running the live stream today. It's really important that we're doing this thing with the sound, but what's happening is a lot of people are wanting to adjust, and we are so appreciative of it, but not while the service is going on. It's really important because it's distracting a little bit, and we so appreciate it, and I know I don't have to keep saying that, but we're doing the best we can with this sound right now. So even though a lot of people are there, we're going to have some people afterwards help. That's great, but just afterwards. And also the fans. It's nice in here today. I see that everybody's not going crazy with their fans. But if a fan is not working for you, just go to another seat and everything, because what's happening too there is that a lot of people do not like to have fans blowing on them. And so the best thing to do is to get out of the way of the fan. That's just something, I mean, I don't know. That's
what another idea. Who would have thought?
Ah, son of a gun.
And I'm all of your fans. And I know it sounds kind of like Daddy Warbucks is coming up here and giving his house rules, but it just is real important that this time on Sunday is for you, and it's for inspiration, and it's for this time of celebration of family. And I want it to be the best. And this is how families get to talk to one another. This is how families do. So, mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. And the suggestion box, excellent. We've been getting a lot of suggestions, and a lot of them are very good, and a lot of them are going to be implemented, and then some are not. How does that work? Yeah. Just like a family. Sometimes you get your way, and then other times you don't. That's just how it works. So, enough said of that. And now that was called pre-announcements. So I just want everyone to have a sacred experience when they come here. That's my goal, and that's what I know to be the truth. So with that, I just know that we have our wonderful Michelle back from Japan, and we're ready to have her come on up and give us. And we have lots going on here, you guys. Welcome, Dawn.
Good morning, everyone. It feels great to be back, and we definitely have a lot going on, so I'm just going to focus on the next couple of weeks, but please know that December is really full. We have a lot throughout the holidays. But coming up tomorrow, we have our Radical Forgiveness workshop with Sherry Claire, based on Colin Tipping's book, Radical Forgiveness, and It starts at 6. It's from 6 to 9 right here. And I'm going to keep it at that because Sherry Claire is actually here. So she's going to share a little bit after me. So we're really grateful to have this opportunity to have this workshop here again at the center. Now, the past 2 Thursdays, we have had a workshop here on Thursday evenings, which is the 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity with Edwin Gaines. Now, not this Thursday because it's Thanksgiving, but the next 2 Thursdays in December, we're also going to be having that workshop, and that's 6 to 8. Again, here, there is a sign-up sheet, and if you didn't go to the first 2, that doesn't matter. They all stand alone independently, and the book is a fabulous book, and it's actually pretty life-changing. I read the book on my own, but the workshops really delve into it, and there's a lot of exercises, and, it's all about prosperity, but really about our mindset towards prosperity, because that's where the change happens. And then Friday, we are very excited to have our first musical performance here. Our first concert will be taking place. And that's actually spearheaded by Michael and Carrie over there. So give a big round of applause to them. They've been working hard and putting a lot of time, love, and energy into this event. It's going to be with a dear friend, Max, who I had a privilege of hearing him play last night. And it's really quite fabulous. And his girlfriend Christina she makes her own cacao bars, so there's going to be a cacao ceremony, lots of music. So it's just a very heartfelt event that will be here. It'll be $10 if you buy tickets before Friday. So you want to make sure you buy tickets before Friday, because then it'll be $15 at the door. But of course, we'll still let you in. And then the following Monday, on November 30th, it's going to be our first annual Christmas tree lighting. And what we're wanting to do, they're very big on Christmas and lots of celebrating for the holidays. What we're asking folks to do is to bring your own ornament so that we can be a part of the tree and have it be there for years and years and years and years to come. I have no idea if it's a fake tree or a real tree, but the ornaments will last anyways. So the idea is to bring an ornament, come celebrate. It's going to be 6:30, 8:30. I believe Michael and Carrie will be playing music there as well. I think they're pretty much just staying here the whole weekend. Yeah. They're just moving locations. And we have put out to our mainland memberships to send in ornaments, and we have received one ornament from Santa Cruz, so it's great that the members that are on the mainland and can't be with us physically will be here in spirit for that evening. And then we are going to be participating in the Lights on Rice Parade. We will be walking. That is December 4th, and I'm going to be going to a meeting coming up soon. So I'll have more details, where to meet, timing, all that good stuff that I'll share next week. But if you are interested in walking with us, there is a sign-up sheet. Please put your email address. That'll be easier for me to be in contact with everybody. And also, we are looking for help. We are going to be carrying a couple of banners that we have for Center for Spiritual Living, and we want to find a way to kind of put like a little bamboo pole through or rig it up some way so it's easier to hold for whoever's holding it, and then also light it up because we want to be all lit up. And so we're looking for suggestions, and we're looking for people who want to volunteer to help us out. So please come to me for that. I'll be spearheading the Lights on Rice Parade, and it's great. It's a great way for us to get the word out of who we are and just have a presence and do something as a community that'll be fun. And if you've been to the parade before, you know that it's one of the biggest holiday events on island, so it's definitely a fabulous opportunity. Then the last workshop that I want to speak about is one I haven't spoken of before yet, though you may have seen it if you're plugged in with the emails, Facebook, all of that good stuff. Patrick's been doing really well to promote this, and it's a coming home party, coming home workshop, and it's going to be on December 5th. It's pretty much an all-day workshop, definitely something that you would need to sign up for. It's from 10 to 3 right here. And it's going to be with both Reverend Patrick and Rita, and it's a fun, creative, hands-on workshop. And it's a great time of year to be doing this because it's all about the process of letting go of the old, which we need to do to make space for the new. So come join us. If you want to know more about it, you can ask myself or the Reverends after, but definitely check out the website for more information and to register, or there's also a sign-up sheet for that. And the cost includes all the materials and the time and the space to be here. We are live streaming, as we always are, and now it is Marco that's helping out in Rob's absence. So how about a nice big round of applause for Marco? He's been doing He's been doing a lot also with the live stream, but also just videotaping us to get us on TV too. And again, it's just to spread the word and spread the message because that's what we're here for. Well, enjoy your service and thank you so much for your attention.
So many. There you go. Trust me, one thing I know about the speakers and stuff like that is that I love hearing myself. So trust me, this is why I got this thing going right here. So just honesty, once again, love hearing this, and I love having my hands free. So we're going to light our peace candle right now. And this is such a time. It's always a time for peace, but this peace begins with us. And so I just want us just to take a nice deep breath in. Let it go. And remember, the peace starts right here where we are. As I invite Malia up, who is one of our wonderful practitioner students, to take us into our time of meditation, our time of just being.
I'd like to invite everyone to take some deep breaths, and if you feel comfortable, close your eyes, because when your eyes are open, your attention goes wherever your eyes go. So we want to turn our attention within this morning just for a few moments for our meditation, a few minutes. So let's just take some deep breaths together. Prayer is not a duty or a habit, but a pouring forth of the heart in gratitude for every breath, every moment of life, every experience. I am grateful for all life. Enjoy your quiet time. Beautiful. Prayer is not a duty or a habit, but a pouring forth of a heart in gratitude for every breath, every moment of life, every experience. I am grateful for all life. Knowing now that there's one presence and one power in the universe that I call God, good, omnipotent, omnipresent, omnipotent. God is everywhere and in everything all around us. I can feel it. I can see it. It's everywhere present in everyone, and everyone in this room, on this island, on this planet. And what I know is that we're all one with this power for good that we call God, because God is everywhere. There is no spot where God is not. And today, we are so happy in knowing that new information, new friendships, more communication, and remembering, hearing words that help us to remember and know that we are the light. We are the light of the world that shines forth and spreads out to everyone wherever we go. And I am so eternally grateful that we are the lights and that we are happy and healthy in this space. And I release it to the law as law. And as we say together, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike and Carrie, for that beautiful meditation music. And Malia, thank you so much for standing in your truth and being willing to step out there and share it with us. Thank you for the beautiful spiritual mind treatment. I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
So welcome again, everyone, to Center for Spiritual Living Kaua'i, and the flowers just keep on coming. So thank you for that. I don't know where these last ones came from, but thank you. Moya and Stephanie and whoever else brought flowers. Thank you.
And Loya, thank you.
Thank you. Mahalo. So welcome again, and here we are, getting ready for going into the holiday season. And this is the beginning of it, at that time of year when we get to remember that we are the light of the world, even in a more intense and greater way. So I'm glad you're sharing the time with us. Today's all about being grateful, remembering that, and remembering, as we do in Center for Spiritual Living, that we are that presence, that divine light, and we're grateful to know that and to bring that light and that divine self called us, ourselves, into the world and share that deepest and greatest expression of ourselves with everyone we meet. So again, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kaua'i.
And who is here for the very, very, very first time? There we go. Now, I didn't tell you this when I met you before, but we know something about you that Sherry didn't tell us. It was just something we know about you, and we wanted to share it with you. Anyone out here that's new too? No. Okay, so should we? Yeah. You are magnificent. Yes, we knew that, right? And we know that because we know that about ourselves. So shall we? I am magnificent. Now, next to you, let them know who they are next to you. There we go. You magnificent.
I guess I'm not going that way.
I'm not as free as I thought I was. What? You are magnificent. Isn't it nice when you're direct? Well, you can tell me I'm magnificent. Wow.
Sometimes it's right next to you.
Okay, enough of this, family. Let's get going. All right, are you ready to open up with some music?
Yes,
Yes.
let's do it.
Stand if that feels comfortable.
Here we go. You see me. We gather today to set our hearts free. We've come to shine, shine, shine. We've come to shine, shine, shine. And breathe in gratitude.
Uh-oh.
Gotta breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. I give thanks for life, for the air that I breathe, to live abundantly. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. I give thanks for life, for the air that I breathe, to live abundantly. I'm gonna stay true to myself, true to myself and others. Gotta stay true to myself, because it's the only way. We gotta breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. Let's clap. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. I give thanks for life, for the air that I breathe, to live abundantly. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. Come on, guys. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. I give thanks for life, for the air that I breathe, to live abundantly.
And so what I know right here, right now, is that we are definitely awake. We're awake with this life, with this light, with this thing called good, with this thing called God, with this thing called life force moving through each and every one of us. So with my eyes wide open, I just acknowledge and know that this is happening through us, as us. And it goes through this service, through the music, through the message, through everything, through every breath that we breathe is God, is light, is love. Yes, it is love. As together we say with such gratitude and mahalo. And so it is. And breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. I give thanks for life, for the air that I breathe, to live abundantly. One more time. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. I give thanks for life, for the air that I breathe, to live abundantly. Yes. I wish you guys could perk up a little bit today. That would really help us. If you could have a little more enthusiasm.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a special in the light today. We are so blessed to have Sherry Claire herself here. She's, as Michelle already mentioned, she is going to be doing the workshop tomorrow night, Radical Forgiveness, which cannot be missed. It is amazing. And she's going to come share a little bit of her truth and her light with us today. So I welcome Sherry Claire. Right? Yeah.
Hello, or aloha. I am so pleased to be back here. I can't tell you. And what's so wonderful is that I see some familiar faces from the last time that I was here a couple of years ago. And I have the pleasure of having my son and my daughter-in-law and my grandson with me this time. So when Rita and Patrick asked me if I could spend 5 minutes talking about forgiveness, I jumped at the chance because I could actually spend hours talking about forgiveness. Forgiveness has become my life. I met Colin Tipping in 2002. I was on the board of directors of the Center for Spiritual Living in Dallas, Texas, and he came and he spoke at our church. And the last thing that I wanted to hear was about forgiveness, because I had a story about my daughter-in-law, not this one, but another one, that I got a lot of mileage out of it. People would feel sorry for me, and they would go, "Oh, poor baby, how could she have done that to you? Oh, that's terrible." And what I didn't realize is that I told the story so many times that people started shunning away from me because I was a victim. And when Colin talked at that church that day, I found out that I had more mileage out of not being a victim than being the victim. So I started my path of radical forgiveness at that time. And it has become a default way of life. Now, things that are happening in the world right now with the massacres that are going on and the bombings and all of that stuff that's going on out there, you say, well, how does that affect you? How can you forgive the atrocities that are happening there? And what's so radical about forgiveness is that it doesn't have anything to do with forgiveness. That's what makes it so radical. And you're looking at me like, how could that be? Okay? Because radical forgiveness gives you the ability of looking at things from a divine perspective. And if you can ever look back in your life and see things that have happened that at the time didn't really feel good, they were horrific, but you look back years later and you can see that there was God's hand in there, that there was something that you learned, somehow that you were blessed with it. You can then say, well, if God's hand was in that, then God's hand is in everything. It's not an either or. You don't get to pick and choose, because God is with us everywhere all the time. And we may not see it while it's happening. And I got to tell you that with what happened in Paris, I struggled with it. I have a connection to Paris. My former husband was from France, and I still have family there. These are my nephews. I didn't divorce the family, I divorced him. So when it happened, the first thing that I thought about were my 3 nephews that were there, and how were they affected. And, thank God for Facebook, because I was able to contact them, and they were able to tell me that they were okay. And then I got to start doing radical forgiveness on it. And it was, what's happening out there that's reflecting something that's happening within me? Because that's how I look at events now. What is this bringing up for me? And what I was able to identify is that oftentimes there's an internal struggle that I have within myself. And that's what's happening out there. There's this struggle that's going on. And I had to look at the times that I have hurt other people because I feel so adamant about something that they're wrong and I'm right. And is that what's happening right now? Isn't it somebody trying to prove that there's one party that's wrong and one party that's right? And they're willing to go to the extremes of killing other people to prove their point. Now, I'm not going to kill anybody, I hope. Philip may, he's come close. But as of yet, I haven't. But I still had to own it. I still had to own it myself. And now I can go ahead and I can watch TV and I can say, bless you guys for showing me this, because one more time, you've given me the opportunity to heal something within myself. and I can live in peace now. And that's what it's all about. That really is, isn't it? So I'm going to encourage you to come to my ceremony tomorrow. I'm giving up 3 hours of my vacation to be with you. And actually, it's I can turn any vacation into a business trip, can't I? Yeah. So as I say, I encourage you to come tomorrow. It's a very poignant ceremony. The total anonymity. You don't tell your story. It's an experience, and actually it's the 4th ceremony that I'm going to be doing on this island. So I kind of feel pretty cool about being able to raise the vibration of Kaua'i just a little bit while I'm here. So hope to see you tomorrow evening. If I don't, have a very, very happy Thanksgiving and mahalo.
That's amazing. It is an amazing ceremony. When she was here last time, we had over 30 people, and it was very, very powerful for everybody that came. So it's definitely worth at least trying it. And like she said, if you're nervous about it, it's totally anonymous. It's totally comfortable. There's nothing about it where you're threatened at all. It's the way it's done. It's just genius. So thank you, Sherry, for doing that. Thank you so much. So I am just grateful to introduce Harry and Michael. Am I right? Okay. Am I in the right place in the service? Yes, I am. To do some special music for us. I just love them. And thank you for sharing yourselves this whole month with us. And thank you for sharing your aloha. And sing for us.
How's that feel? Yeah. Okay, it's Thanksgiving. Another Thanksgiving. What does that mean? It reminds me, I know it's all about food, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's all about food. But we're going to talk a little spiritual theme today. And I used this quote before, but a friend of mine, he had a wonderful grandmother, and this is what she told him every day. He lived with his grandmother. And he said, she would say, Miss Minerva would say to him, "Good morning, baby. Time to go and meet your great." Wouldn't that be a lovely way to wake up? How many of you today, because the title of our message today, the talk is Great-Ness, Great-Full-Ness, G-R-E-A-T. So how many of you woke up today and the first thought in your mind was, "Oh, I am great"? Isha would be the only one there, and I did because I knew we'd be talking about it today. It is really about filling up with that greatness. And I was thinking about a story, and I wasn't even going to use it until I thought of it today, that we went over to the country kitchen, you know where that's at, and we took our lovely friend here, Lolita, who's not here today, we took her to breakfast over there. And we had the experience of a lifetime at Country Kitchen. Who would have thought it? Because everybody there, you think we're happy? Go to that happy place. Because I don't know what was in the drinks or whatever, but I have not seen that kind of happiness in a long time. I mean, they were smiling, and they were like, "I love working here. I work in Hanapepe, but I just love to come here." It's just, and you're like, wow, this must be what people feel about me when I get all excited with them. And so what happened was there was a gentleman who was running around the room in his greatness, and he was like at every table, you know, going, how's everything going? And he's just, I'm like, wow, this guy. So he came up to us and he goes, "The Kaua'i egg Benedicts must." He had that kind of energy. "Hi, how's everybody doing? Eggs Benedict must today, Kaua'i. It's with a little pork, it's a ba-ba-ba, and you're like, wow. And when I said to our table was talking about, we said, wow, now that kind of owner that you want to own a restaurant, the kind of manager that your employees can't wait to come to work, that your customers are so excited because you're living in your greatness. And guess what? So I said to the waitress, "Oh, you know, is that the owner, manager?" She said, "No, that's the busser." Excuse me? Yeah, that's the busboy. Bus man, bus person. Wow. I thought to myself, now there is a spiritual being that's so tuned into his greatness that it doesn't matter if he's cleaning your dirty plates away from you. He owned his moment. The gratitude that was pouring out of him, and I thought to myself, that is exactly the example of living life to the fullest. When you can come in and take your job and washing dishes or whatever it is and just live in that greatness. And I thought, thank you. And I had to go back and tell him it was a part of the talk and everything. So this week has been a very interesting week for me because in our Thursday class, we were given an assignment. I wasn't here, but Rita gave an assignment about 21 days of no complaining. And so I thought to myself, how can you assignment to someone, this obviously doesn't want me to look at Rita, how can you give an assignment to someone unless you can do it yourself? Hello. So I went into the 21-day fast of no complaining, and what that consists of is no criticism, no gossiping, no judgment, no complaining, and that means to others and to yourself. It has been a quiet 2 days in my life. I never knew Rita had those beautiful eyes that she does, because, and let me tell you something, I'm a minister, we do not do that, but let me tell you something, you have to stay conscious. Because what I used to consider problem solving, oh my goodness, that might be considered complaining. Because so what's been happening with me, and this is what I've learned from it, is that I have to be very mindful before I decide to open my mouth. And sometimes I don't. This is one of those moments. By the way, I do know I'm going in and out. I think it's working. Brings me to my next point.
Caca.
Unless you're going to problem solve, then it's complaining. Unless you're going to put in a solution, you're just telling a story, as Sherry was saying. And you know, this isn't to make you feel bad on Thanksgiving. I could see everybody's face going, wow. I was having a really good time till he got up there. Because what I'm realizing about this, and I'm really taking a good look at myself, and it doesn't always feel good, because I really consider myself a very positive person. But you've got to be careful when you open up your mouth and you speak out, because those are the words. And so what I'm learning is no criticism, but I have to be very conscious with my words, my actions, and my thoughts. You don't get away with it by just saying, I'm not going to complain, and then in your head you're going to town. It doesn't work that way, right? I'm not going to complain, but boy, it should have done anything. You know, and it's going on. So what I've learned about that is that these are the things I've learned thus far. The only way out of complaining is looking for the good, because you can't find any complaints if you're looking for good. Number two, as I said, looking only for solutions. An example of that is, that's very irritating when this noise goes off on the speakers, right? So the answer is, it's annoying, let's get it fixed to some degree. That's the only way for us to do it. The third one is, are your words and actions serving? And I was like, oh, did what I just say to you serve you? Or did it just contribute to the rest of it? And taking a moment before delivering a message. I have to learn that quite a bit myself. So what am I learning about it? But guess what the biggest lesson was? When I started to think of things to complain about, I went into gratitude. Did you know that I don't know about you, but did you know in the shower, you can find a lot of reasons to complain. It's like, I don't know if it's spare time on your hands or whatever, but the water's running, you're going, blah, 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 and just running these stories. And I thought to myself, self, What can you be grateful for? And I just started spewing everything. Wow, look at this. I got my legs going here. I got water, hot water on my, oh my gosh, and I'll stop there. And you don't need my entire shower experience. But I was in my shower just filled with gratitude. And I didn't have one moment that I wanted to complain because I was so grateful. And then in Thanksgiving, the last part of this is we're always thankful, but there's also the giving part. And that's also in this class too. Edwin Gaines talks a lot about tithing. She talks a lot about giving. And that makes a lot of people, uncomfortable. And because this whole idea of giving. But I read this thing by Joel Goldsmith, and it's just wonderful, about harvesting. Tithing or giving is when you have your entire crop and you take the very first two things, the fruits that come from that, the harvest, and I give it away to you. You're thinking, well, that's not really good because what if no more grows? That's the idea. I can give you it all because I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that my harvest is always going to be plentiful. If I don't know that, then I need to put down this mic, walk out that door, and close these doors. Because I have to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that my gratitude, that my giving it all away, I cannot outgive God. And I have to have my glasses, and I'm grateful for glasses. Because sometimes I need them. But I have this wonderful, this quote that I wanted to read to you. Harvested, and it's by Ernest Holmes. And this is what he has to say. If we are to demonstrate that the divine givingness is a principle in the universe, then we must set up a receiving center. I repeat, we must set up a receiving center. For no matter how abundantly the horn of plenty may pour out its universal gifts, there must be a bowl of acceptance, a chalice of expectancy, or the gift cannot be complete. We cannot just take and not expect us to get. We are an unlimited harvest. I could never give it all away. Now, do I believe that 100%? No. Do I want to believe it 100%? Yes. But I know within the deepness of my being that this is about thanksgiving. It is about the law of circulation. Anything that goes out must come back. Look at our lovely ocean over there. It never just goes like this. It would cause lots of problems if it did that. And so does our law of giving. So at this time of Thanksgiving, let's go beyond the words, beyond the food, not too far beyond the food, but not too far to remember who we are and what we are. This is just wonderful. The horn of plenty may pour out its universal gifts, but there must be a bowl of acceptance. And you think to yourself, yeah, bring it on, give me, that's okay, I can handle all the good. No, not always. Because other things are standing in the way, and that's usually things like forgiveness, or I'm not enough, and all those good things. And they are good things. So, I met your greatness today. Did you know that? You are fantastic. You are the greatness of life. And speaking of the greatness of life, may I invite up Reverend Rita. Mahalo.
Amazing. He's amazing. He is. I'm so grateful. Where do I want to start? Okay, so someone said something to me. They said that sometimes people don't come back to centers for spiritual living, or not this particular center, but just in general, because they don't believe in what we teach. They don't believe in what we teach. And I heard this recently, and I was like, wow, okay. Well, we don't teach to force our beliefs on people. That's not what we teach. We do teach it's done unto you as you. How are the guys? They come from me. See the camera. All right, I got them this week. Okay. Where do they go every Sunday? They must go up to. Yeah. Okay, I love it. Anyway, so we don't force people to believe what we believe or anything, but we teach is done unto you as you believe. And a lot of people can't really accept that, and they just don't come around because they can't accept that. So, but when this came to me, I felt I don't want to use the word, well, I felt my faith confronted for a moment. Okay, is what I believe or what I'm telling people, is it not the right thing to be telling them? And I kind of felt like Don Quixote. I wrote in my blog today. I kind of felt like Don Quixote. I don't know if anybody's seen The Man on the Mancha. Have you? You're familiar with it, right? Well, there's that part of the Night of the Mirrors when they bring him down and they take the mirrors and they show him who he really is, right? And they put the mirrors in his face, and then he just kind of falls on the floor and collapses. And I got that in a whole new way today, that those mirrors, that what that was, the Night of the Mirrors, was like the world of conditions, which we get all the time, showing us what life is really like, right? We get the mirror in our face. And I thought, that's what I felt kind of when I heard this thing about, oh, well, we don't come because we don't really believe in what you teach. I all of a sudden felt that. And I had to look at it. And I had to look at how is my life affected by what I teach? And do I practice what I teach? And I thought about so many different times when I am so grateful for this teaching, because it helps me and assists me to move through, I don't want to say get through, to move through experiences because of what I believe, that they look different, like Sherry was saying before. Even the whole incident in Paris, for a moment I got really upset like she did. And then all of a sudden, I started to bring principle to it, and it shifted the whole thing. So, on a lighter note, it did, didn't it? It did shift there, because that's what we said last week. The more that we can shine our light, the more that we can shine our light and not buy into that terror, and the more that everybody is going to feel lifted up, and it is going to shift. So, I thought of that, and then I thought of this little incident. It's so little, that happened to me this week, and I wrote about it in my blog, so I'm sorry if you read my blog, you have to hear it again. But it was about this bed that we've been looking for, it's only been a little over 2 weeks, but it seems like it's been forever that we've been sleeping on this rubber raft. And I'm sorry, Deborah. It's just that when you have two people on it, that's the way it feels. It's really very comfortable, but it's just feels like a rubber raft. One day we said, you know what? That's it. We're going to get a bed today. We are getting a bed today. And there it went into law. So the next thing we knew, there was a bed available down the street, of all places. I was like, I hope I don't have to go too far. No, it was right down the street on your street, over there. Anyway, so we went and looked at the bed, and it wasn't the greatest bed in the whole world, but we thought it's better than the bed we're sleeping on, and we need it today. So we said, okay, and we put the money down, and then we're like, well, we're not going to lift this ourselves. And then we saw another bed that we were going to get for the other room, and a desk that we needed so dearly, and so we took it all, and we said, okay, we're not going to ask our friends to do this for us. We're going to hire somebody to do this for us. So we hired someone to move the bed. So what ensued after that would have been, and I had just taken the 21-day challenge and no complaining, could have been so awful, because the person that showed up came by himself to move a king-size bed, a full-size bed, and a desk that and headboards and everything, came by himself. So I kept getting texts from the lady that she was taking it, and she was saying all these negative things about him. And then the final text was, he's coming now and he's really angry. And I was there by myself without my husband. I was thinking, okay, I turn this around right now. I have this teaching and I can turn this around. And I did. I said, I'm only shedding love on this, and I'm seeing love, and I'm grateful. And blah, blah, blah. I went through this whole thing, and he came, and I smiled at him, and I just really did it, and he turned into like an angel. I mean, he was just like, oh, he was so willing to help me, and he was just great. He did make me help him move the bed, which I thought was really interesting too. So, but then I looked at the whole thing, and I had a wonderful time with him, really. And then I looked at it, and I thought, this was a perfect reflection of my consciousness. Because I thought about it later, and I thought, how did this happen, really? And I looked at it, and I had to look at my own consciousness. I was in a hurry to get the bed. I was cutting corners. I only wanted to pay a certain amount of money. I mean, I met him exactly in consciousness. I met my experience exactly in consciousness. But the good thing was, I got to turn it all around in the moment by changing what I thought, by not getting angry, by not, complaining, by not, thinking I was in the most awful situation and blah, blah, blah. I turned it around in the moment. And that's the beautiful thing about this teaching is no matter what happens, even if you set the causation into motion and it's coming at you, you get to turn it around in the moment, not by changing the people out there, but by changing your own attitude. Yeah. So it's so powerful, I'm telling you. And so when someone says to me, I don't come because I don't like your teaching, I have to say, okay, that's fine. Your teaching's working for you, and that's good, but this is working for me. And I get to share this. And we've been studying Emma Curtis Hopkins, and we kind of rushed through her in from once we came to class. And I said, you know what, I'm going to read her every day because she's really, really powerful. And I don't have the book in stock. We don't have it in stock right now, but I really kind of like look into her because she's all over the internet. You can get them for free, and you can listen to her talk. And she says this thing in the Radiant I Am. She says, I produced the world as it appears. I produce the world as it appears. How powerful is that? Nothing outside produced this world. We produced it as it appears. Because it's appearing to us as we're perceiving it. That's Emma Curtis Hopkins. And I picked this card this morning. Ernest Holmes said, the universe is foolproof. It does say we can have what we can take, while at the same time we must expect to experience the logical result of our thought and act, be it good or what we call evil. So we can take everything we want to take, we can accept, but whatever it is that's out there is going to be there. It's our reflection, just like that man coming at me that day with his truck and our beds was my reflection in that moment. And I got to change my reflection of him, and he changed in turn. I totally love that. So I'm just grateful for this teaching. I'm grateful for Emma Curtis Hopkins, who says we have 12 powers that are our powers within us. And if you listen to the Radiant I Am she's on YouTube, her whole prayer, and it's a prayer for healing. And the powers that we have are the powers for life, the powers for health, strength, support, security, intelligence, speech, inspiration, our minds, joyous song, skills, beauty, and judgment with beauty, not the other kind of judgment, and heaven, because heaven is the door that swings inward, the door of our minds that we get to use. That's our power. And I have a little chant for us to sing in closing. I remember I promised I was going to write a chant a week, and on the Kaua'i path, yeah, and I want you to sing this with me, and then we're going to kind of have some, well, you'll see. Okay, it goes like this. I am grateful for my life. I am grateful for my life. I am grateful for my life in spirit. I give thanks, I give thanks, so it is. Now I get to give thanks because in spirit, because everything already is in spirit. All these things I read you from Emma Curtis Hopkins are all there. They're within us. We just have to let them out so we can be grateful. So I'm going to do one more, and then I want you to tell me some things you're grateful for, okay? Even if they're not here right there now, they're here. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for my health in spirit. I give thanks, I give thanks, so it is. Give me something you're grateful for. Peace, okay. I am grateful for my peace. I am grateful for my new knees. I am grateful for my peace in spirit. I give thanks, so it is. Another one? What companionship? I am grateful for companionship. I am grateful for companionship. I am grateful for companionship in spirit. I give thanks, so it is. I'm going to do one more. Faith. I am grateful for my faith. I am grateful for my faith. I am grateful for my faith and spirit. I give thanks, so it is. I give thanks, so it is. Mahalo. Okay,
I got one too now.
You got one too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Michael.
We're good. Everything always works out. It does.
It does.
No matter what, it always works out. So, this is our time of affirmative giving. This is our time to give because we know we can. That's why we give, because we know we can. And we want to support this home and see this ministry go forth. And so we appreciate in advance everything that you give here, your consciousness, your finances, your time, your talent, everything. So mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. So let us sing our grateful song, another grateful song.
Divine love.
Oh, I always forget it. All right, hold on. Divine love, consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source, the substance of my supply. I give freely today, knowing it returns to me abundantly. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me. Gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me. Gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me. gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. Yes, I am. I'm grateful. Grateful for Carrie and Michael right now for their beautiful music at all times. Grateful for everyone in this room, everyone that gives and receives here, all the consciousness here, for the gifts in the basket and the consciousness that represents. I'm just grateful for life itself. And I know that as we give, we do receive, and as we let that out, give that givingness of spirit out, it comes back to us 100-fold and more. So I just know that and claim that for each and every person here and beyond, each and every part of creation. And I just let it be so, as we say together, and so it is. Thank you.
Okay. So a few gratitudes here as well. Let's start at the door. I always have to point. There's no one at that door, by the way, but I'm pointing over there. It was Stephanie and Katie at the door today greeting you. And we also went, before I even let it slip away, is our wonderful Sherry Claire for coming up and doing In the Light and for being here. And I said on Facebook too, this was the perfect time for you to arrive here on this island to give us this gift.
Thank you.
No mistakes, absolutely. And now we're going to just do the flowers, which is Loya and Stephanie. And Loya just wanted you to know that the last couple of weeks she's made them red, blue, and white for France. And also, these little butterflies are just wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, and who am I forgetting besides these two wonderful people? Carrie and Michael.
And Malia.
And Malia. Malia. I'm going to tell you something. It is so wonderful to see you blooming the way that you are as a practitioner and training here. It's just, wow. I was just back there just bathing in your treatment. So thank you. Thank you. And anyone else we're forgetting? Because we usually...
Okay.
The most important is the shell.
One is the most important.
Well, the reason it is it's like a charade. Everybody was going like this, and you can thank Ron, and you're thinking to yourself, well, Ron didn't do anything.
Oh, Ron?
Oh, but Ron's going to be serving some pumpkin pie. And we're done today. So,
and Marco.
And Marco back there, and Ron.
And Patrick and Rita.
That's right.
And I want to give a special recognition to Janice for us, because she sits here every week and waits for children. Sometimes they come, sometimes they don't, but she's still here with her beautiful presence, and thank you for that gift. Thank you.
And one last to the people in TV land out there. Johanna, who sent her
Very first Christmas
ornament today from Santa Cruz. And also, I don't know if you guys remember Katie and Patrick when they were here, but they're going to move here in a year. And they say, we watch you guys every week, and we had no idea that they were. So aloha to everybody that's watching us,
Yes.
our crazy shenanigans, as my mother used to say, that we're doing here in Kaua'i. So I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's have a wonderful thing. If you're traveling, I already know for a fact you're traveling safe, and enjoy your trip. So stand, and let's go across that mountain.
Here we go, guys. Listen, baby. Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby. If you need me, call me. No matter where you are, no matter how far. Just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry. Baby, there ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. I remember the day I set
I told you you can always count on me. From that day on, I made a vow I'll be there when you want me.
Somewhere, somehow, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river wide enough
To keep me from getting to you. So what I know right here and right now, as Carrie so beautifully sang, and Michael, there ain't no mountain high enough, no mountain high enough for that spirit, that God, that presence that we are, each of us. And I know we bring that presence into our lives and use it. We use it. That is the key. Use it. So I know we do, and that our lives are blessed as we go from here, this beautiful island of Kaua'i, and wherever we're headed. I know that we are blessed, that we are prosperous, that we are healthy, that we are strong, that we are love and light, and we shine that light. So I'm grateful for this time we've had together, and I just simply bless it, I let it go, and I just let it be so as we say together, and so it is. Ain't no mountain high enough.
Come on, everybody.
Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river high enough
To keep me from getting to you, baby, one more time.
Ain't no mountain high enough.
Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river high enough to keep me from getting to you, baby.
Thank you, everybody. Namaste. And we will have some mountain high out there today.
today.
All right.
Like 13 cameras today. Yes, sir. Life is good.